welcome again to the new lecture of Principle of Concrete Structure Design. Thanks for your presence. This is lecture number 7 and we are continuing the remaining part of chapter number 4. Chapter number 4 of Principle of Concrete Structure Design. And the previous lecture and lecture number 6 we have studied few formulas related to the beam design. If you have any question, anything that you didn't understood and those formulas, please ask me. Do you have any question? Dear students, do you have any question in the formulas which we have studied in the previous class? Bruce Van, do you have any question? No? Okay. Let's continue today's lecture. Let me remind you what we have studied in our previous class. We have studied few formulas related to the design of a beam. This is, for example, a beam. This is, for example, a beam, and for this we need to design two types of reinforcements. Flexural reinforcements. You can see this horizontal line is a called of flexural reinforcement, and these vertical lines are called as shear reinforcements. We will design two types of reinforcements inside this beam. For designing these reinforcements, we will use some formulas. And what are those formulas? Let me remind you. This is a Whitney stress block. On the basis of this Whitney stress block, we have derived some formulas. The compressive stress can be calculated by 0.85 FC prime AB, and tensile stress can be calculated by ASFY. When these, in the case of equilibrium condition, when these two stresses combines together, the small a, which is the depth of this compressive stress, that is equals to ASFY D minus D over 0.85 FC prime BD, where AS is the area of steel, Fy is the yielding strength, D is the depth, effective depth, 0.85 FC prime is the compressive strength of concrete, B is the width of the beam, and D is again the effective depth of that beam. Clear? Rho, this is also called as, this symbol can be read as rho. Rho can be the reinforcement ratio, which can be calculated by area of steel divided by BD, or we can also say that area of steel equals to, just rearrange this formula, area of steel is equals to rho BD. Okay, and remember this formula also. These are the few things that we will use them in our numerical problem. We will use these formulas in our numerical problem. This is run, this M, rho, area of steel, and few more formulas like Rn value, like this. Rho will be calculated by this formula, and M is also done. Okay, we will use these formulas. This is for steel reinforcement ratio, this is a factor, and M is also a factor which we will use. These formulas will be used in the numerical problem. And we have also studied there are three different types of failures. Ductile, if a steel reaches to its yielding stress, then what will happen? When the ductile failure is happening, when the steel reaches to its yielding stress, then the failure that will be happen, that is called as ductile failure. And when the concrete reaches to its maximum compressive stress, then the failure will be called as brittle failure. When these two things combines together and fails together, then we can say that that type of failure will be a balanced failure. In case of balanced failure, steel ratio can be found by this formula. This is FPS system, as I told you yesterday. This is FPS system, and this is SI system, System International. So, and these are the two different formulas. This is for FPS system, this is for SI system, where beta 1, as you can say, this beta 1 is 0.85 for 4000 psi. These are the different values which are available in this table. This beta 1 value for 4000 psi concrete, that is equals to 0.85. okay, so it is mentioned here, beta 1 is equal to 0.85 for 4000 psi or 30 megapascal concrete, and reduce 0.05 for each 1000 psi of FC prime in excess of 4000 psi. You can see in this table, when the concrete is increasing 1000, 1000, 1000 and 1000, then this value of beta 1 is decreasing or in the interval of 0.05. Can you see that? It is 0.85, it is 0.80, it is 0.75, 0.7 and 0.65. Clear? So all these things have been studied in the previous lecture. From this slide, we will study the new lecture. From here, we will study the new lecture. Maximum and minimum reinforcement ratio. Your reinforcement ratio should be within this limit. When we are calculating the reinforcement ratio for any beam, for any column, for any type of structure, then our reinforcement ratio should be in this limit. Minimum reinforcement ratio should be less than the exact reinforcement ratio, and that exact reinforcement ratio should be less than the maximum reinforcement ratio. These three different types of reinforcement ratios have three different formulas. For minimum reinforcement ratio, we need to implement this formula and this first problem, and for this exact reinforcement ratio, for this we will use the formula. Let me show you. We will use, I have already encircled that formula. We can use this formula and we can also use this formula, but and this problem, the numerical number 1, we will use this formula for calculating the exact reinforcement ratio. And the maximum reinforcement ratio, I will show you the formula of maximum reinforcement which will be used in the numerical. To ensure a ductile failure of beam, SCI code limits the maximum reinforcement ratio to 0.75 rho BD. According to ACI, American Concrete Institute code, this limits the maximum reinforcement ratio, this rho maximum should be equals to 0.75 of rho B. 0.75% of rho. Okay. On the other hand, when the amount of steel is too small, when this is small, amount of steel is small, the beam will fail when the concrete reaches its tensile strength. Means the failure will be a ductile failure. It needs to have a minimum amount of steel to ensure a ductile failure mode. That minimum amount of steel can be ensured by this formula, rho minimum equals 200 by Fy, where Fy is the yielding strength of steel. Fy is yielding strength of steel. There are two types of steels available in the market. In Pakistan market, I don't know about China, that 4 KSI and sorry, it is not 4, it is 40 KSI and 60 KSI. The yielding strength, there are two types of yielding strength of steel available in the market. The one is called 40 KSI and another is called 60 KSI. And the shear strength of concrete, the shear strength, the shear stirrups can be calculated by this formula, but usually we use this formula. Over here, read it first, that the direct shear strength according to SCI code is used by this formula. And this formula PW, VU, MU are the new factor, that PW is reinforcement ratio, or we call it ROW, and VU is the factored shear stress, MU is the factored moment at a critical section. Or we can also use, instead of this formula, we can also use this formula too. It depends on your choice. These are the conditions or the requirements which a shear reinforcement should fulfill when you are calculating the shear reinforcement. These are the three requirements. The first requirement is when shear stress VU is less than or equal to, when this shear stress, this factored shear stress is less than or equal to half 5 EC, then there should be no shear reinforcement requirement. We don't need to provide any shear reinforcement. When this half 5 EC is less than VU, or is less than or equal to 5 EC, then you need to provide minimum shear reinforcement, and it can be calculated. How can we calculate the spacing of the formula? This S can be calculated as, or AV is usually calculated. We use this formula. For the same formula have been used over here as the calculation of spacing. Just we have rearranged this formula, that spacing can be calculated by phi AV FYD divided by VS, where AV, what does S mean? S is the with reinforcement. What does WIP means, and what does, let me draw if I can on with the help of mouse. If this is a T-beam, this section, this part is called as flange, and this part from here to the bottom, this part is called as, this is called as web, and this is called as, this part is called as flange. Okay, this is flange and this is web. It is mentioned here S is the spacing of web reinforcement. For example, you have provided web reinforcement over here in this way. So the spacing, the space between these two bars, that is S. This is S spacing of web reinforcement. Or Fy is the yielding strength of steel. You can calculate Fy. You can calculate the. It will be given to you. Fy is the yielding strength of steel. Av is the cross section of area of web reinforcement. The cross section of these reinforcement. The cross sectional area of, for example, one cross sectional area. This will be the diameter. For example, this is 1 inch. This diameter is 1 inch. Then how can we calculate? Pi by 4 d square, and d square equals to 1 inch. So you can use this pi by 4 d square to calculate the area of this section. So there are 3 bars over here. So just multiply that area with 3. And BW is the width of beam web. When 5 EC is less than VU, use VU less than or equal to 5, which is VC plus VS, where VS is the shear strength provided by shear reinforcement. All these 3 conditions will be fulfilled while we are calculating the numerical problem. And as I have explained earlier, that the stirrup reinforcement can be calculated by this formula, the same formula. The shear force that is resisted by shear reinforcement, that is Vs, it can be calculated by Vu minus pi Vsu. Vu is the factored shear, that we can calculate it by a formula, and pi Vc is the critical shear. Normally, stirrup is spaced vertically at a spacing S. For shear reinforcement within an effective depth D, the shear strength provided by AV over S, where AV is the area of stirrup and Fy is the yielding strength of reinforcing steel. The shear strength multiplied by phi. Why we multiply with phi? Because it needs to be a larger than Vs. So therefore, Vs is equals to phi Fy d minus a d over s. The spacing of the stirrup is calculated as, just rearrange this formula. S can be calculated as phi Fy d divided by Vs, where phi is the strength reduction vector, AV is the area of the bar which we are using, Fy is the yielding strength, D is the effective depth, and V is the shear stress of the shear reinforcement. Clear? And these are the three requirements for placing the stirrup. We need to use these three requirements. When half phi Vc is less than Vu or less than or equal to phi Vc, the maximum S can be used as for 24 inches. If this condition is applicable, then you can use the maximum. You cannot use 24 or 25 inches. Your value should not be more than 24. Okay. When phi Vc is less than Vs or less than 4 square root Fc prime, then what we can say, the maximum spacing in this case still it cannot be exceeds from 24 inches. When again phi Vc is less than Vs or less than equal to 8 square root of Fc prime, then again over here, then your spacing, the maximum spacing should not exceed from 12 inches. Till now I have just finished all the formulas, and right now we will use these formulas in the numerical problem solution. Do you have any question, anything that you didn't understand? Obviously these formulas, the derivation of the formulas is quite boring thing, but right now when we are using these formulas and the solution of numerical problem, then you will be able to understand. This is example number 1. I want to ask you a question, dear students. Please listen here. Listen, dear students. This is a frame of, for example, this is a frame of a room. This is slab, the shaded part. This is slab. Then these horizontal lines means, or I can say the first one and the second one is beam, then the third one, these vertical lines. Can you see these vertical lines? These these are columns, and number 4, these encircled, these lines, this is footings. Listen, when you are designing any project, your design will start from the top. First you need to design slab, then you have to design beam, and then you have to design columns, and then you have to design footing. Your all loads will be transferred step by step. First you need to design slab. The slab design and the loads of the slab will be transferred to the beam, and then you need to design beam. And when you design the beam, then you have to transfer these loads to the column. When you design the column, then you have to transfer these loads to the footing. Okay, step by step. Slab, beam, column, footing. Clear? These are the steps involved in designing. You have to design first. I have given you a project. If you remember, this is your project. And this project, this is your 60 feet, and this dimension is also 60 feet. So, and this project, you have to design the slabs first, then you have to design the beams, and then you have to design the columns, and after the columns you have to design footing. There are 4 steps involved: slabs, beams, columns, and footing. Clear? Is it clear, Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Okay, but the problem is, according to your designed schedule, I am teaching you beam first. Why? Because of the NIT schedule. NIT made it first that I have to teach beam first, and then I will teach you, and the second step slab, and after that I will try to teach you column and then footing. Okay, step by step we will move towards. So let's try to start the study of beam design. This is actually the second step of the designing, but I am teaching you at the first place. Why? Because of NIT schedule. NIT told me, Nanchang Institute of Technology schedule tells me, the content told me that I have to teach you beam design first. So that's why I have placed beam design in the first place. Okay, try to understand this numerical first, please. This is very important course, because your next semester course, concrete structure design, is based on this course, and your in the 7th semester you will study anti-seismic structure design course. That course is also based on this course. If you cannot understand these numericals, these problems, you will not be able to understand the next course and the course after the next course. So please try to understand. If you cannot understand these numericals, ask me again. I will repeat the numericals again. If you cannot understand any step, please ask me that, sir, I don't understand this step, please explain it again. I will explain again. Okay, I am getting salary for this work, so that's why please ask me again. I am requesting you, ask me again and again. Okay, Mr. Bell and the rest of the students. Okay, let's try to, first of all, this is quite important. I am forcing on it. It is very important numerical. Try to understand this numerical first. What is given in this numerical, and then we will try to solve the solution. Okay. Clear? Any question? Okay, let me explain the numerical first. Listen, Example number one is design a you have to design a simply supported reinforced concrete beam. For this, we need to design a simply supported concrete beam. There are two steps involved. We have to solve flexural reinforcement, it is mentioned here, and we have to solve, and the B part will be the shear reinforcement, also shear reinforcement, flexural and shear reinforcement. Okay, so for this, the data which is given to you for simply supported beam, simply supported reinforced concrete beam is supporting uniform dead and live loads. Okay, the dead load which is given to you 1500 pounds. What does this A means? A is there are very different students available. The students whose ID number is less than 10, from 1 to 10 they have to divide their ID number divided by 12, the last two integers. Remember that, the last two integers. Okay, like for example, Mr. Bell, what is your ID number? It is the last two integers
18.
are 18. So you have to divide 18 divided by 12. Okay, this is also your homework. You have to solve this homework and show me in the next class. I will check your homeworks first. This is the second numerical of this course, and live load is 800 pound per feet. Dead load is 1500 and live load is 800. Okay, length of the beam is let me how can I draw it? Length of the beam is 20 feet and width of the beam is 16 inch and depth of the beam is 24 inches. Let me show you on the screen, please. Check here, see on the board. The data which is given to you, that is dead load is equals to 1500 pound per feet and live load is equals to 800 pound per feet, and length of the beam that is equals to 20 feet or 24 feet. Let me check. Length of the beam is 20 feet. Width of the beam is 16 inches. Or we can say that it is 1.3 feet. And depth, or I can say that D is equals to 24 inches, which is equals to 2 feet. Clear? Concrete cover is 1.5 inch and diameter of the steel stirrups diameter of 1 Dear student, listen. The dead load which is given to you 1500 pound per feet, live load that is 800 pound per feet, length of the beam that is 20 feet, width of the beam that is 16 inches, the depth of the beam that is 24 inches, concrete cover that is 1.5 inch, and diameter of the stirrup that is 0.5 inches. This data is given to you also, plus the data which is also given to you, the concrete compressor strength that is 4 KSI, and yielding strength of steel that is Fy equals to 60 KSI. All this is done, and your required data, what you need to calculate, you have to calculate one thing. Actually, design a flexural reinforcement. You have to design flexural reinforcement, and we have also designed shear reinforcement. Clear? This is the given data and the required data. Please. Check the picture which I have sent you. If you cannot see this writing clearly, so I have sent you a picture. And right now, what does this data means? Length, width, depth, concrete cover, and diameter of the stirrups mean. Let me draw a beam in front of you. The length of this beam that is mentioned 20 feet. The depth of this beam, or let me this depth from here to here, that is 24 inches, and this width, this cross section width, that is 16 inches. Clear? Please try to understand. This is the given data. Given data: dead load, live load, length, width, depth, concrete cover, and diameter of the stirrup, that is 0.5 inches. Compressive strength, yielding strength. Required data is flexural shear reinforcement. Shear reinforcement is given in this question. You need to calculate all these things. Is it clear? Dear students, yes, Mr. Bell, is it clear to you that did you understand, Mr. Dragon, Mr. Bell, that what is given to you and what we need to calculate? Did you understand the data which is given and the numerical? Mr. Bruce Wayne, did you understand? Did you understood the data which is given? Okay. The first section of the class is going to be finished. Please join the meeting again within a minute. In the meantime, if you have any question and this data, please ask me. Please ask me again. Please ask me right now. Mr. Bell, do you have any question? Mr. Fario, Charlie, any one of you, did you have any question in this data? Please ask me. No question. Charlie? Mr. Joe? Any one of you, do you have any question? Any one of you, if you have any question. Mr. Dragon, do you have any question? And this data. See what is given in this question. The dead load, which is 1500 pounds per cubic per feet. Live load 800 pounds per feet. Length of the beam, that is 20 feet. Width of the cross section, this is width. For example, this is the width cross section of the beam. Then this side will be equals to 16 inches and this side will be equals to 24 inches. Okay. Minimum concrete cover is, for example, this is the steel from this point to this point. This point is called as, this is equals to 1.5 inches. Okay. Concrete cover, this concrete cover means 1.5 inch means from the steel which we have provided to the outer edge of the concrete, that is equals to 1.5 inches. And diameter of the stirrup, I will tell you what does it mean after few minutes. Okay, when I will solve this, when I will use this value, then I will explain what is the meaning of diameter of the stirrup. Okay, Mr. Joe, I have received your message. Okay, and what we need to calculate, the flexural reinforcement and shear reinforcement. Okay, and use this your ID number who is from means your ID number is less than 10, then you have to divide the last two integers of your ID number. This X means last two integers of your ID number. And the students whose ID number is less than 10, then they have to divide it by 12. And those whose ID number is 11 and above, then they have to divide it by 24. Let's move towards the solution. The first part is we need to design a longitudinal bars or flexural reinforcement. We need to design a longitudinal bars or flexural reinforcement. M is equals to Fy Fc prime Fi over 0.85 Fc prime. So I am using the M value. M can be calculated here. M is written here. The M can be calculated by the formula. This is Fy value 60,000 is given in the question. You can see Fy value is 60,000. 0.85 Fc prime. Fc prime value is also given in the question, that is 4,000 KSI. Just solve it and you will get the value of M factor. Let me repeat the numerical: dead load, live load, length of the beam, width of the beam, depth of the beam, minimum concrete cover and diameter of the stirrup is given to you. Compressive strength and yielding strength of steel is also given. What we need to calculate? We need to calculate flexural reinforcement and shear reinforcement. For this, for flexural reinforcement, we are calculating self-weight of the beam. Self-weight of the beam is calculated by this formula: unit weight of the concrete multiplied by width of the beam multiplied by complete height of the beam, the thickness of the beam. So the width of the beam, that is equals to 16 inches, and D, which is equals to 24 inches, as you can see here, and 150 is the unit weight of the concrete. Just multiply these values together, you will get the answer of self weight of the beam. Factored load can be calculated by this formula: 1.4 dead load plus 1.7 live load. There are two types of dead loads available: the self weight of the beam, that is 400, and dead load, which is given in the question, that is 1500 pound per feet. Just add these two values together and multiply with 1.4 and plus 1.7 multiplied by the live load, which is given in the question, that is 800. You will get the answer of factored load. Use this factored load to calculate the factored moment. The formula for factored moment, that is WL square divided by 8, where WU is the factored load and L is the length of the beam. As you can see, that is 20 feet divided by 8. Just multiply these values together, you will find the answer, that is equals to MU equals to 201,000 pound feet. Then the second step is to assume the reinforcement, the main reinforcement that we have assumed, that is equals to 1 inch in diameter. 1 inch in diameter, which is also equals to 8 number bar. As I have told you, if I want to calculate the diameter of the bar in FPS system, then what should I do? I have to divide this bar number with 8. If there is for 8 number bar, the diameter 8 divided by 8, which is equals to 1 inch. If the bar number is 4, what will be the diameter? That diameter will be equals to 0.5. If the bar number is 6, the diameter will be equals to 0.75. If the bar number is 3, the diameter, as I have told you, that this will be 0.375. Okay, these are the different diameters, which indicates is 4 divided by 8 will get diameter, 6 divided by 8 will gives you the diameter of that bar, 3 divided by 8 will gives you the diameter of that bar. Clear? Okay, after that you need to find out the effective depth of the beam. See on the board, as I have drawn over here, this is the cross section of the same beam. 24 inches is the thickness of the beam, and width of the beam, that is 16 inches. As you can see, this is equal to 16 inches. Concrete cover, which is given to you, that is 1.5 inches. The diameter of the main bar, which we have assumed, that is equals to 1 inch, and the size of this stirrup, this ring size, this stirrup size, that is equal to 0.5 inch. The diameter of this bar is equal to 0.5 inch. So effective depth is basically from this top surface to the center of the steel. From the top surface to the center of the steel is basically the stirrup. So D is equals to 24 minus this complete cover, that is equals to 1.5 inch minus 0.5 inch. What does this 0.5 inch mean? This 0.5 inch is basically the half of this main steel. Main steel is 1 inch, so it will be the half of this steel, that is equal to 0.5 inch, and then this second 0.5 inch is the diameter of this stirrup. Okay. So when you complete total it, you will get the answer, that is equals to 21.5 inches. Clear? And then you can use the formula of Rn and M formula, Rn formula is mu over 5 bd square. Just put the values inside it. You have already calculated the value. The only thing that is not mentioned, that 12. What does 12 means? 12 is basically we are converting feet into inches. And 0.9 is the value of 5. D value is 16 inches and D value is 21.5. Just put the values and get the solution, that is equals to 362.4, which is Rn factor value. M value can be calculated by Fy divided by 0.85 Fc prime. Fy value, the yielding strength of steel, that is equals to 60,000. 0.85 is basically the Fy divided by 0.85 Fc prime, where 60,000 is the value of Fy and 4,000 is the value of Fc prime. Just multiply these values together and you will get the answer of M, that is M factor is equal to 17.65. Use these two factor values to calculate the reinforcement ratio. Let's calculate the reinforcement ratio. As I have told you, we will use this formula to calculate the reinforcement ratio. 1 divided by M, 1 minus square root 1 minus 2 mRn over Fy. M value is 17.65, as you can see. Rn value is 362.4 and Fy value is 60,000. Put the values, you will get the answer. That answer is 0.0064. As we have already studied, the minimum reinforcement can be calculated by rho minimum can be calculated by 200 divided by Fy. 200 divided by 60,000, you will get the answer, that is equals to 0.0033. Okay, this is the value of rho. This is the value of rho minimum, and rho maximum can be derived from this formula. As I have told you, for 4,000, beta 1 value is 0.85. Put the values inside it. You know Fc prime is 4 ksi, Fy is 60 ksi. Beta 1 value should be used as 0.85. This beta 1 value, this value beta 1 value is equals to 0.85. Put these values over here, you will get the answer, that is equals to 0.021. So we have three values available right now: rho maximum, rho minimum and rho. So it is clear that just combine these values together, you can see that rho minimum is less than or equal to rho, which is less than or equal to rho maximum. So the condition is satisfied. When this condition is satisfied, then what we can do? We can calculate area of steel by using this value. Use this value to calculate the area of steel. Rho value is equals to 0.0064, B value is 16 and D value is 21.54. Okay, B value is 16 inches and D value is 21.5 inches. Clear? So the answer will be 2.2 inch square. Now you need to select the reinforcing bar. How many reinforcing bars should be used? And the thing which I have missed is beta 1 value, which is equal to 0.85. How it is used? We are using the Fy value, that is 60,000, and I want to use the beta 1 value, which is equal to 0.85. Okay, from this table. And from this table, I want to locate the size of the bar. This is equals this size. Find this size. 2. Sorry, this I don't know why this mouse is not working correctly. The call will be disconnected automatically. After the connecting the call, I will continue from here. please join the call again so that I can finish this first part of the numerical. Mr. Bell, Bruce Wayne, till now, do you have any question? Mr. Dragon, do you have any question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, you can ask me. Please ask me. I welcome.
Please turn to before the PPT. Yeah, I don't know the second 0.5 why.
This 0.5.
The first 0.5 I know it, but the second 0.5 I don't know.
It's okay. Let me explain again. If I show you a picture of let me show you a picture.
我跟你讲，晚上我还做过，晚上还有猴子没洗衣吧？没洗衣服，晚上猴子还要搞洗衣吧？就有人700把吧，真的，我觉得那个挺好玩的。后面我都技能了，妈的！
关一下麦了。
你做灵活组牌上到排位，这么算灵活组牌上36。
Can you see this picture?
没有，那是哪里的声音啊？
Yes, I can.
Can you see this
当什
picture?
么学号？一个女的
Outer
在那
line shows you the
楼
beam
下吧？
diameter, and the inner bar.
我还以为什么呢？吓我一跳。
把麦关一下，大哥。
This bar is 0.5 inch. The diameter of this bar is 0.5 inches. Can you see that?
哎呀！
It's a dragon. Is it clear now?
安心要那个
Yeah.
技能是吧？
Clear? The diameter of
别
this
问我，
bar
我
is
对这个版本的一点都不了解。
Teacher, someone's microphone is so wide.
尾号99的，麻烦把麦关一下。
Please discuss with me if you have any
降薪都
questions.
感觉真难受了。哎呦，太无敌了，真的。这原来那个降薪都是贼他妈爽
张小佩现在的那个强袭枪手，一下他妈全员他妈的只有0星。
Yes, Mr. Dragon, do you have any question right now?
Please, pardon?
Do you have any question? Means, did you understand what does this second 0.5 means?
I don't know.
See?
I don't listen clearly because somebody microphone.
Okay. Let me repeat. As I have shown you, this 24. If you have understand 24 is the total thickness of the beam. 1.5 is the concrete cover. 0.5 is the half of this 1 inch. Okay, and this 0.5 is the diameter of shear ring. What does this diameter of shear ring mean? Let me show you in the picture. Can you see this picture? This gray shaded line, this dark gray line or black in color line, this means that this is the diameter. The diameter of this is basically a shear ring, a shear reinforcement, or we also call it stirrup. And these dotted, can you see these red and yellow circles? These are flexural reinforcement. So the diameter of shear reinforcement, that is 0.5, which is given in the question. You can see it is given in the question over here. 0.5 is the diameter of the stirrup. So we need to subtract this diameter when we are calculating the effective depth of the steel. Clear now?
Yes, I see. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. And the one more thing which I want to explain, the last step of this question, this first part, that how can we select this? We have calculated this value. We have calculated area of steel is equals to 2.2 inch square. You have a table, this table. These are different bar numbers, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, 10, 11, 14 and 18 according to ACI code. Okay, and these are the numbers of bar: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rods, 6 rods, 7 rods, 12 rods. They are the different rods. So you need to find the value 2.2. Where is 2.2? You cannot select less than 4 over here. Which value should I select? You cannot select 1, you cannot select 2, you cannot select 3. But you can select 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. It depends on your choice. You cannot select 3, you cannot select 2, and you cannot select 1. But you can select 4, you can select 5, you can select 6, you can select 7. It depends on your choice. Which one should I select? You have to find, Mr. Eric, please don't write. You have to find the value that is equals to 2.2 inches in square. Where is 2.2? Can you find any value? 2.2. Yes, the value which is available here. Can you see? 2.20. But I will not select this value. Why? For the factor of safety. I want to provide more steel so that my structure will be more stable. So that's why instead of 2.2, I am selecting this. If you select 2.2, 5 and 7, it is also okay. This is also correct, but I am selecting 4, 3.16 and number 8 bar. So that's why it is written here. We have selected 4 number 8 bar. The area of the reinforcement, that is 0.79 inch square multiplied by 4. So you will get 3.16 inch square, which is equals to mentioned here 3.16 inch square. Clear? So let me draw the cross section of the beam. See on the board. All of you, please see. I have calculated that I need to provide 4 number 8 bars. This 4 bars means 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me shade it. Understand? O bar, and the size of this bar is number 8, which is equal to, as I told you, 8 divided by 8 equals to 1.5. So, what you can say that these are 4 number 8 bar. The only flexural reinforcement, this is flexural reinforcement. First part of the question is completed. Second part is remaining. Second part will be calculated in the next class because the time is over. Second part, shear reinforcement, will be calculated in the next class. Okay. Do you have any question? Any one of you? Do you have any question? Mr. Charlie, Bell, and the rest of the class. If you have any question, please ask me. Mr. Dragon, do you have any question?
No.
No question. And let me send you the picture of this. Let me mark your attendance, and after that you all will be free from my side. Wait for a while. Let me mark your attendance and then leave this meeting. There are 77 students present and 7th lecture of PCSU. Thank you. See you in the next class, dear students. All done. If you have any question, you can ask me anytime. I will be available. Try to work on it, and I will continue this numerical in the next class. Thank you. See you in the next class. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.